Few minutes with Brian Bratton after the Tuesday morning practice here. Just recently had a birthday. You look, what are you, 23 now, 24?
I wish. 38 big ones, 38.
Really?
So, yeah.
Doesn't seem that long, does it?
Doesn't seem that long.
Just wait, they start to accelerate, I can promise you. Yesterday Clay told me that the wide receiver group, young, mostly unproven coming in, and yet he feels like it could be one of the more talented squads on the team. That's your position. Tell me about those guys.
Well, I think we just have a lot of ability. I think everybody brings something different to the table, and that's what you want in an offense like this. That's what you want as a receiver coach is everybody that's kind of has that something special, and then you try to put it all together and have a corpse that you can kind of do anything at any position. So we got different body types, we got different speed, we've got different abilities as far as footwork and route running, and I just think that it's a good combination right now of youth, and then we've got leaders that have been there and they're smart and they know exactly what's going on to teach the young guys. So I think we got a really good combination, really good group. Right now we're just trying to make sure everybody understands what we're doing and why we're doing it so we can move forward.
Of course, the big absence is number 89, Thomas Gordon, who has moved on, and that's a lot of production, a lot of experience. Most experienced guy now, I believe, is Ryan DeLuca, and you've got a bunch of young guys under him, including I know a couple of transfers, if you still count Luke Shiflett, who came in last year, that you're excited about. Yeah,
excited about all those guys, and the great thing about Ryan DeLuca is he's been thrust into a leadership position, and he's taken it and he's run with it. And he's a guy that does every single thing right. There's not one thing that he does that's wrong, and if he does, he knows it before you even know it. So that's a great guy to have, and it's a great guy for young guys to learn from. And we've got young guys who seem like they're willing to soak it up and learn from an older guy, and Ryan's willing to teach, and that's the best combination you can have.
Yeah, the explosiveness. Tell me where it's going to come from. One guy you look at would be Dwan Bell, who's back full time this year. What beyond him, who provides that kind of potential?
Well, we've got two young guys, Kelton Gunn and Baylor Hughes. That Kelton's one of those guys who was a state track guy out of Tennessee, and Baylor. You watch his high school film, he could do it from a lot of different ways, from a kick return standpoint, just good with the ball in his hands. So I think we can count on those guys for some speed. You mentioned DeJuan. Obviously, he's one of the fastest guys on our team. And then I think that we just utilize guys like Noah, who's a straight line, big guy. Shiflett, very, very athletic and fast at the tipping point of his speed. And we just kind of utilize them in certain ways, put them in positions so they can be successful and utilize what makes them different.
You're going to play wide receiver in this offense. Obviously, you have to catch, you have to run routes, but you also have to block.
Absolutely.
And we have seen that since Clay has been here in the offense. You're not doing a whole lot in the way of contact right now, but how are you getting that message across?
Well, every day we do something as far as technique concerned with blocking, and it's something that you have to be able to do. It's not necessarily skill, but it's a will. You have to want to do it. You have to understand that everything starts with the run game, and we make big runs, explosive plays. We make explosive plays, touchdowns, and that's just a willingness, and it's an effort thing. And if you're not willing to do it, you can't play in this offense. You got to block in order to catch it, and that's kind of how we teach it. And that emphasis is brought here from day one. It won't change just because that's where it all starts, and that's how you be successful.
How big of a transition is it for most freshmen? Were you a great blocker when you came into this program? However many years ago that was.
I can't even remember, but again, I think technically I probably was not, and I think most guys here are not technically good blockers, but you can tell people who have a desire to block, and it's still a competitive rep. You're trying to win that rep just like you are on a one-on-one pass. So if you're competitive and you want your offense to get that first down so you can go get a ball and run a curl or whatever it may be, then you're going to be competitive. You're going to get the block. I think it's a mentality you have to have, and I think that's one thing that we tried to do this spring that's carried over into our summer and carried over into right now is change the mentality of our group to every single thing that we compete at, we're trying to win. Doesn't matter if it's a block, doesn't matter if it's a route, doesn't matter if we're playing checkers in the locker room, we're trying to win at everything we do.
Just finally, you started using the word compete and competitive, and your eyes started to light up.
Everything I do is hard. It's hard to get it out, but I'm just so competitive. And a lot of people, my personality might not think that, but you step between those white lines, it's a little different. But yeah, we got to compete. That's the name of the game.
All right, Brian, thanks.
Thanks.